And if Biden is saying, I'm going to kill it, really? He can kill it.
Something that Jason Kenney seems to know. Within hours of Joe Biden being declared president-elect, Kenney issued this statement, seemingly pointing to the Keystone XL pipeline, something his government has invested $1.5 billion in. In part, it reads, U.S. energy security is dependent on Alberta as the United States' largest source of oil imports. Much of the American economy is fueled by Alberta energy. We look forward to working with President-elect Biden's transition team and future administration to ensure that this vital economic partnership continues. Joe Biden said back in May that he would kill the pipeline project that would send 830,000 barrels of bitumen from Alberta to Nebraska every day. City News reached out to TC Energy, who owns the pipeline, but did not hear back in time for broadcast.
I think that Jason Kenney better start thinking really quickly about what are the alternatives. 4 years of Biden, fine. Keystone's not going to hang around for 4 more years. At some point, people are just going to walk away and say, much like Trans Mountain, you know what, forget it.
The fate of the pipeline may lie in the hands of Georgia voters, whose votes are still being counted. If the Democrats win control of the Senate, Biden may be forced to pull further left of center as demanded by his own party. If the Republicans win, the opposite may be true, according to experts.
And so weird as it might sound, Canada might almost be hoping for divided government in the U.S. as a way to try and secure energy policy, which of course is hugely important to Alberta.
NDP leader Rachel Notley also acknowledged Keystone XL in her congratulatory remarks, saying it was too early to determine what will happen, but that Kenney needs to address climate change to position the province in the best way possible. But the one thing Lander says Albertans need to have is patience. It could be months or longer before things return to some kind of normal between Canada and the U.S. But patience may be the one thing that the Keystone XL project and TC Energy don't have. In Calgary, Kara Campbell, City News.